Welcome to This Week in Nerf, your source for first-party, third-party, and community Nerf news. I'm Adriana, and we do not have a lot of time before Michelle and I have to get on a plane and fly to the other side of the country, so this is going to be another short episode. I'm so sorry they've been so short. Alright, let's go. We don't normally talk about work-in-progress stuff on this show because we like to stick to finished projects since you never know if someone will, actually finish a project. Looking at you, Michelle. This thing is almost 2 years and... Anyway, this week was a little light on news, and some of these things are just too cool, so consider this a work-in-progress special edition. This 50-round rifle drum from Reddit user The Verby is a direct shot across the bow of Hasbro. We'll see if they borrow from community innovation again and one-up their upcoming 25-round drum. It seems to be using at least 5 different 3D printed pieces and what we assume is a very long spring. There's some interesting discussion in the comments of the post about the design, and we really hope that it keeps the community updated and maybe even release his design when he's done. Because this would just be amazing in a Jupiter or a Hera. Next up, we have the Shadow Price Rifle by Reddit user Bandersnatch, which is a 3D printed flywheel blaster that uses a solenoid pusher. Its visual stylings are pulled from Destiny, and it looks just... wow. I know I've said this before, but I love when people create Nerf blasters that look just like video games. The style of the Destiny weapons are really cool, and this one is no exception. The handguard looks really good when there's a magazine in the blaster, and the lines in general are just really nice. It should be noted the files are not available yet, and the creator says they'll need some sanding and filing during assembly, but he'll be releasing the files on GitHub when they're done. I'm really excited to see more and more 3D printed blasters, especially ones that are inspired by video games. GDOP26 made a trek to play with Aldos in his crazy parkour gym and brought with him the Thing, which is yet another 3D printed blaster. We got a peek at it through Aldos's video. It looks to be in the fairly early stages of development, but it's an HPA shell ejecting blaster. It has a 3D printed magazine that takes shells that each hold a short length dart. It also is fully automatic, so you can live out all your Scarface fantasies and rain shells down onto the battlefield. He's claiming it should be available in a couple of months. We're not sure if that means he'll release the files to the public or if he's selling them, but either way, the Thing is neat. We would love to see an alternative version that uses something other than HPA for those of us who play in places where HPA isn't strictly legal. Thanks, California. Oh, GavinFuzzy, we love your designs. Your long shot pump grip is one of my favorite add-ons I've put onto my blasters, and now you've done it again. When the community saw the Falcon Fire announced, we all thought it would be magazine fed or at least easily adapted to take a magazine, but we were wrong. It had no magazine compatibility, and the process of adding one seemed too daunting for most. But now we have Talons, and GavinFuzzy. He's designed an incredible drop-in kit for the Falcon Fire. You just disassemble the blaster, separate the shells from the top part and the handle, and get rid of everything but the handle. There's no cutting of the shell, just separate the parts. Replace the upper of the blaster with the printed bits, and blammo, you have a sleek, half-length fed blaster that hits 85 FPS with the stock spring. I'm curious to see what kind of results we'll see from stronger spring loads. I think I want one of these. Here's another 3D printed thing, but this one is not a work in progress, so let's see if Wacom has anything to say about it.
So I don't know if you've heard the news, but Michelle from Foam Blast has made a part that made the Worker Hurricane, in my opinion, the best possible pistol in the hobby. For a variety of reasons. It's a 6-shot rapid-fire flywheel, 190 FPS pistol that, it's about this big. That's tiny. And anything it lacks in range or capacity or really anything can be made up for in one of its other factors, which has made me dub it the best. There's really nothing else I think can compete with it in any sense of the fashion. I mean, you have like a pretty crazy spring-uploaded pistol like Chris Cartaya has. Yeah, that's going to hit you really, really far away, but slow reload, low capacity, stuff like that. Something like this is pretty much perfect for just about every single person out there. Whether you want to use it as a primary because it hits so freaking hard, or you want to use it as possibly the best sidearm in the hobby. But does have two kind of unique flaws. They both relatively have to do with the magazine, because this is a rotary magazine, kind of like what a Ruger 1022 firearm uses. And, well, you look at the back here, it's got this little knob, and you have to load it from the front, and it kind of sucks. Thankfully, Woody77 on Thingiverse made not only a new knob, but a new backplate, because of course these are just 4 screws, you can pull this entire assembly off, and that gives you an interesting way to rear load the Worker Hurricane, while also giving you the ability to see how many darts you have left, because you really can't once this thing is loaded into the blaster. And at first I was a little indecisive on this. I mean, yeah, it would be cool, but they quoted that maybe some darts won't work because they have to be relatively good darts, you know, like waffle heads and stuff might not work, but I was loading in waffle darts the wrong way on one of these magazines. Unfortunately, I can't print the part out right now because my extruder died a few days ago, but I had no problem loading them in the wrong way, so I don't know why they wouldn't fit through the holes unless the holes in the back weren't wide enough, but it should be fine, and it's just so easy to do this. I mean, it's just a couple of quick parts to print, or it doesn't really cost anything, really, in 3D printing terms, and, well, you can throw it on every single magazine you own, if you happen to own, like, 7 of them like I do, and every single mag can be either dump, and if you've already eliminated your target and you're not in any threat, you can just take darts out and rear load it and everybody's happy, or if you really need to, you can still just pull out the magazine and top it up with a fresh one, and do the same thing with this magazine. They're literally bouncing off the door and flying back and hitting me in the feet. It's ridiculous, and it's rapid. It's the best. Buy one, put in the Category 5 cage, print out the thing, or buy the thing if somebody would sell that. Every Nerfer needs to have one of these, for real.
Thanks, Wacom, and just to be clear, we didn't ask nor expect him to shill for the Category 5 cage at all. He just really, really likes it. A quick note, because Michelle demanded we put this in the episode, because apparently we're shills now. Captain Slug has mouse pads now. Michelle really likes her, so head over on his Etsy so you can...
Give me money.
Get out of my video, Slug! Seriously though, supplies are limited. On to Mod of the Week, Egonaut on Reddit posted the Outrun Hades. I am a huge fan of this aesthetic, and I've been subbed to our Outrun for a couple years now. This is just amazing. The pink to yellow gradients are perfect, and using the vinyl cutter to make a mask for the grid was really smart. I even like that even though there are a few mistakes where the paint bled through the mask, it actually adds a little to the glowing effect of the grid. Very Outrun, looks amazing. This week's video of the week is from Luke over at Out of Darts. We not only get a first peek at his new studio in the new warehouse, but he talks about his new blaster wall and what each blaster on it means to him. It's almost like a timeline into his history as a modder, and it's always interesting to see where these dynamic personalities in our hobby started and where they're going, as well as what each blaster means to them. I know I've got a few laying around that I'd be sad if they went missing, and Michelle definitely has a few that are near and dear to her heart. So thank you, Luke, for this very intimate feeling video that lets us peer behind the curtain and see how you feel about some of your creations and where you're going in the future. We can't wait to see what you do next. And that's all we have for this week. I have a plane to catch, so I'm in my jammies. That is the most comfortable way to fly. Oh, likes on YouTube? Likes are on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, things. Check out all the links. Look at the stuff that people have done. It's good. Bye.